Hello friends, I am Asit Kumar Sahu. Welcome to the fourth session of Role of Cooperative Movement in Value Chain Development. In this session, we will be discussing about value addition through agro-processing cooperatives. We will take examples of two cooperatives in this discussion. So let's start. First, let us understand what is the meaning of agro-processing. Agro-processing means establishing uh, processing activities to handle the local produce of the basic farmers with a view to generate additional or higher economic returns to them. Then value addition is achieved through an efficient marketing strategies. The benefits of agro processing units are: it reduces the post harvest losses, it checks the outflow of rural population to urban centers, it offers uh, remunerative prices to basic producers, it holds and transport improve advantage and technology to the rural areas easily, it helps in industrialization of the rural areas, it helps in generating employment opportunities. As more number of actors are involved in this value chain, it also helps to improve the productivity, develop scientific commodities through greater soil treatment and appropriate application of the fertilizers. The agro-processing also brings recognition to the progressive and the innovative initiatives of the farmers. So now we'll be discussing about a agro-processing cooperative that is called SAGOSERV, which is helping Topeka farmers through value chain management. Tapioca was introduced in India during the latter part of 18th century. Tapioca is grown over an area of about 3 lakh hectares with a production of 58 to 60 lakh tons of tubers. Then Kerala ranks the first in cultivation and production in the country. Tamil Nadu stands first in respect of processing of tapioca into starch and sagu. Now nearly 500 million people eat tapioca in the world, as it contains 98% of carbohydrates and a good amount of calcium and vitamin C, which is very good for health. Now India is one of the leading countries in the tapioca production. But prior to the formation of the SAGOSERV, the manufacturers of the starch and the sago in the district faced a lot of problems because they are not getting credit, they were not getting right amount of credit at right time period, and also they were they were finding it difficult to market the tapioca products. Salim Starch and Sago Manufacturers Service Industrial Cooperative Society Limited, which is popularly known as SAGOSERV, was registered on 21st July 1981 and it started its business on 27 July 1982. Now it has many unique features like SAGOSERV at its best provides an efficient services to its member, which are it provides ready-made marketing floor for starch and sago, advance credit and payment of sold goods within 24 hours is provided to the manufacturers, providing warehousing facilities. It also promotes business and trade within and outside the state. SAGOSERV also arranges tie-ups with the bankers for working capital loan and many financial instruments also. It also provides services to its merchants, like it facilitates easy purchase of desired quality products at affordable rate at one place. It provides grace time of 5 days to leave the confirmed products without any extra charges. It offers maximum time limit of up to 45 days for removal of sold product on payment of nominal interest and the warehouse rent. By these two activities, which are activities or the benefits which are provided by the SAGOSERV, many merchants are benefited as they have as now they are free from storing these topeka. The re-emittance of sales value is prescribed installment is admitted as per as the terms and conditions. Concessional VAT rate of 1% of sale of sago and starch through the society and 5% of the VAT payable for the purchase outside the society. The merchant who buys sago or starch from sago sorb are exempted from CST and 4% of interstate sales. This is an initiative offered by the state government to promote the cooperative movement. Now again, the sago sorb has also developed a unique selling mechanism, which is the daily tender. Now we will discuss the process involved. First, the buyers of the tapioca starch and the sago are registered as dealers in sago sorb by collecting a tender deposit of 5 lakhs for regular merchant, rupees 3 lakhs for small merchant category 1 and rupees 1.5 lakhs for small merchant category 2 with bag limits of 1000 bags, 500 bags and 250 bags for regular merchant, small merchant category 1 and small merchant category 2. On receipt of the goods from the members along with the tax, every consignment is assigned with a lot number and stacked in the godown. Then the asset dealer number and they are allowed to participate in the daily tender. On request made by the member producers, the sample of starch and sago consignments are displayed for tender sale in daily tender system by 9 am. Dealers can view variety of samples under one roof and quote rates in secret tender system. After tabulation results are announced around 1 pm. The top rate and confirmation details informed to the members and the merchants concerned through SMS and email also. The member producer has the option to confirm the highest rate offered against his or her own goods. Then the financial assistance to its members is also provided by paying 60% advance for the unsold lots. Once the member confirmed the tender sale, society paid another 40% advance with reference to the selling rate after keeping an amount deductible for society service charges, godown rent, interest, etc. Then the final settlement is paid to the member concerned after taking the delivery by the merchant concerned. So this was the process of the unique selling mechanism of the sago sorb. Now we will be discussing about another cooperative, that is the Assam Cooperative Jute Mills Limited, which is a boon for the poor jute farmers. As you know, jute is a natural and a renewable best fiber. It is biodegradable and eco-friendly. Assam Cooperative Jute Mills Limited is situated at Silghat in the Nagaon district of Assam. Only jute mill in the jute mill in the country in the cooperative sector. It was registered in the year 1959 under the Assam Cooperative Societies Act. After running for about 14 years in rough weather, it had to close during March 1984 for acute financial crisis and other infrastructural problems and remained closed for about 2 years, which created a lot of problem for the jute producers at that time. But the mill was reopened on 1st January 1986 and now the mill is completely free from all loans and liabilities. Now the mill is implementing the scheme of renovation, modernization of its plants and machineries from its own resources to increase the capacity utilization and quality improvement of its product. So because of this, all the jute producers and the farmers are getting benefited from this cooperative. So this is the sales of jute over the years at Assam Cooperative Jute Mills Limited, and this graph shows the farm power, which is increasing from farm power in kilowatt per hectare, which is increasing from 1951 to 2011, and it is increasing rapidly, which shows that this cooperative is a boon for the jute farmer or the jute producers. Thank you so much. And in the next session, we will be discussing about the challenges of the cooperative movement. Till then, bye bye and happy learning.